Okay, this is an unscripted video, and I'm going to let you know right now that due to the nature of this video and everything else, is I'm going to smoke while I do it, because this is going to be long. I've been putting this video off for a long time, and I'm going to smoke while I do it. And I'm going to explain to you exactly what's going on, and then you'll understand. And the fact that I am forced, I have to roll my own cigarettes because I can't afford anything else because of the nature of this video. And I'm going to show you. I have it all sitting here. I'm going to show you everything. So, to get started, if I wasn't under such stress over all this bullshit, I would quit smoking. I can quit smoking. The stress and the bullshit that I have to deal with prevents me from doing that in certain ways. So I'm going to smoke while I do this, and I don't care whether you like it or not. Alright, the nature of this video is that feminism, it's called Feminism, Legal Bullshit, and Double Standards. Just a minute, let me go get an ashtray real quick. Because I normally don't smoke in the house. Okay. Feminism. My story is that I have never been married, never had any children. I'm 44 years old, and I'm in a situation where, this feminism has basically told me that I am just a worthless piece of shit fucking man that doesn't deserve any respect. I have spent my entire life busting my ass in so many different fields out here, working, paying this, paying that, taxes, blah blah blah, to support other fucking fat lazy bitches sitting on their fucking ass, eating, getting fat off of my fucking dollar, spitting out a bunch of fucking brats, disrespectful brats at that. And so at this point, I'm 44 years old. My resume, which isn't put together very well because I'm not a fucking resume maker. I'm the worker, the guy that does it for you, so that you can sit on your ass and do nothing and bitch. Let's see. This isn't even all of my work history. This only goes back to 1994. I'm 44 years old. I've been working my ass off since I was fucking a kid. I started out in the strawberry fields as a kid, picking fucking strawberries to make money for school clothes and shit. That's what we did back then. Then I've gone through, up into, trying to get into work and this and that. I've done everything, I worked at Burger King once when I was, 16, 17? I worked there for 45 minutes. Why? Because what they wanted me to do was bullshit compared to what they were fucking paying me. Then we go through after that. I've done, I went out and worked in the Christmas tree farms. I'm from Oregon. We produce Christmas trees. I went out and worked in Christmas tree farms at 17, slinging Christmas trees. For you. So that I can be disrespected, poor, broke, and kicked to the fucking curb like a fucking human piece of shit. After that, I fucking didn't work for a while. I was 17. Yeah, actually, I did. I've been through everything from Christmas trees and after that, I mowed lawns as a kid for money and everything else. Then my resume expands from there. I went from there at, doing landscaping at age 16. When I turned 18, my dad got me a job in a mobile home factory. I did all the trim work, finish work, hanging doors, work. Building shit for you. Just so I can be disrespected. And I worked in a mobile home plant for about a year. And my dad, he kind of became a dick. He was a dick at home. That's why my mom divorced him to begin with, because he was a dick. And then, he became a dick at work too, so we kind of went on our outs, and shit like that. So, at that point, I'm 18 years old, and I've had my history with drugs and alcohol, blah, blah, blah. That's beside the point. That's beside the point. We can go into another issue. I can do a whole video on drug and alcohol treatment and everything else. We can do that later. And you can see drug and alcohol treatment is bogus bullshit. My thing with drugs and alcohol is I drink a few beers and smoke my cigarettes, and once in a while I'll smoke a little weed. That's it. I don't do any other drugs. So at that point, after mobile homes, I went through a period where I didn't do a whole lot. I tried to do some of this and that, and at 18 I went through I did the mobile home plant, and then after that, I went through periods where I went without work and this and that. And I got into some janitorial work through medical facilities doing janitorial work. This is all service work. Service. I provide a service. If I provide a service to make your life better, that doesn't mean you get to tell me I'm a fucking piece of shit for doing it. If you're going to treat me like a piece of shit for making your life better, I'm going to tell you to go fuck yourself. So now I've gone from mobile homes, I've gone from farm labor as a kid, because I grew up on farms. I actually grew up on a honey farm. I can show you that too. I have a smoker out here in the shed that, where I used to, my dad, I grew up on a honey farm and the farms in my local area. And don't take this as a Republican bullshit, because I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. Neither one. I disagree with both sides. Period. So, after I did the farm work and mobile home plant, landscaping as a kid, blah, 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 gardening, home gardening, whatever, farms, everything. Then I went into janitorial in the early 90s. It was 90, 91. I went into janitorial work with medical clinics, and I was doing janitorial work for medical clinics and banks and all kinds of crap. Cleaning up after your fucking lazy, worthless asses. Cleaning up after your lazy, worthless asses so you can call me a piece of shit. Fuck you. Then, after that, in 1991, I was given an ultimatum by some so-called friends, because, I couldn't make enough money to actually live by myself and live on my own. I was given an ultimatum because I was staying on somebody's couch. Either join, and this was a woman, feminism, a woman, by the way. I was given an ultimatum. Join the military or fuck off. That's what she told me. And she wasn't even my woman. She was a friend of mine's woman. So in 91, I joined the U.S. military, Army, National Guard. I took all the tests, and they told me that I couldn't go and do regular Army military because I was what? Because I was too stupid or something, or actually what it was the other bullshit that I'm trying to get to, which is right here. See all that paperwork? This is why I could not join the regular military and was forced into the National Guard. This paperwork right here is the reason why. What happens is, it's fucking ridiculous. But anyway, so I take the test, I go to the National Guard, and I go through the regular Army basic training, and I go through the regular Army AIT, and this paperwork, my certificates, which are right here. Oh, they're here somewhere. Here we are. Let's see. National Registry of Emergency Medical Technicians. Medical technician. Emergency medical technician. More service work helping others. Just so I can be told by all of society that I'm a fucking worthless piece of fucking human garbage. So, at that point, I decided to after 1994, 91 and 94, sitting at the fucking armory down here, while fucking all the people around me, they're fucking playing fucking cards, and they're playing fucking stock market, and they're playing fucking bullshit, sitting around fucking choking their chicken, wasting fucking tax dollars. I decided I'd had enough of that. I was done with the fucking military. They asked me to fucking re-enlist. I told them to go fuck themselves. No, I'm not playing that game. So, at that point, after that, my next job, okay, now we get to the National Guard in 1993. See, I went into the military the only reason I went into the National Guard is because they do the background check. This is the background check. You see this paperwork? These are my Nazi papers to prove who I am. And you can see they're not in order. This is some fucked up bullshit. So, after the Guard, or during the time of the Guard, in 1993, an individual here named Mark Allen Farmer, who is about 5 years younger than me, different date of birth, everything like that. My name is Mark James Farmer. His name is Mark Allen Farmer. My mom started tracking this guy while I was halfway across the state and letting me know that he'd been arrested, that he had the same, he'd been in the newspaper even, for criminal charges. So what happened is in 1993, he committed felony crimes while I was in the military. Now, since then, I have gone through, after 1994, this paperwork that I just showed you, they arrested me. That's why I have this paperwork. They arrested me on his charges for felony burglary. And since 2006, I have been fucking fighting with the goddamn state police, the Oregon State Police, and everybody, because when they arrested me, they put those fucking felony burglary charges on my fucking record. They weren't my charges, but they put those charges on my record. It took me fucking 8 years of fucking bitching at them to get them to take those shit off my record. They wanted me to pay them to take the shit off my record. It didn't belong to me to begin with. Why the fuck should I pay you to take it off? So, at that point, you can tell I'm a little upset, and I have every right to be upset about it. So after the fucking after this incident, and going through my shit with the military, 93, 94, whatever, I went on to continue to go to work and do the right thing and pay the fucking taxes and have the, trying to find a girlfriend and have a fucking family and, the American dream. So, in 95, after I finished with the Guard, I went on to do more janitorial work with the school district. The Marion County School District. And they ended up being pieces of shit too, so doing service work for these people and have them treat you like shit for your entire life, that's unacceptable behavior. So I did janitorial work with a school district for a year. I did some janitorial work back before I went to mobile homes too, between the mobile home plant, somewhere in there, or before the mobile home plant, I was working at a school district in another county doing janitorial work. So, I've done janitorial work. It's whoop-de-doo-dah. But anyway, service work. Treated like shit, service work. It seems like the service workers and the slaves get treated like they're fucking just human garbage for some reason. I don't understand where your fucking brain cells work. When somebody's doing something to make your life better, the last thing you want to do is treat them like shit because they're going to stop doing it. So I did that. And then I went on, I've been through, and then I went from there because the school district was a piece of shit. So I went on back to landscaping. I was doing high-skilled landscape construction for this country, building new landscapes from new construction. Then I went on to pump some gas. I worked at this gas station. I actually worked at this gas station on the bottom here twice. The first time I got fired because somebody was stealing money out of the tills, and it wasn't me, but they implicated me. And then they found out after I was fired that it wasn't me, and found the right person that was stealing the money. And so, but I had already moved on to another line of work at that point. Then in 97, in 97 again, I worked for the same gas station. I went back there and worked for the same gas station, and ended up being a shift supervisor, or shift. I was working swing shift, and I ended up being the guy running the show for minimum wage. Well, I ended up, and that was the period when I went through drug treatment, but that's another story. So, and then from there, I decided that minimum wage wasn't going to cut it for me anymore, because minimum wage back then was, $7.25 or something an hour, what I was making. But anyway, in 97, I went on. My uncle was working for a lumber mill, and I was looking for a change to make more money. So I went down to an agency, Brown and Dunton, and And I went to them, and they offered me, I was making $7 at the gas station, and they offered me $9 to start at the lumber mill where my uncle was working at. He's the one that gave me the line on the work. So I went down there and applied, and they gave me the job at the lumber mill. Well, I went to the lumber mill, and I didn't know anything about lumber mill at the time. I knew about the timber industry because I had done some work as a fire watch guy where they were logging in areas back when I was 18, before the school janitorial shit and the mobile home plant. I did some fire watch stuff. Pause. Excuse me, I don't have an editing program for this, so I can't really just stop it. I don't have an editing program to combine videos, so I'm going to just leave this all running and do what I got to do. But anyway, after all that, doing this and that and the other thing, Dartron Industries, I went to the lumber mill with my uncle, and I learned all about the lumber mill. There was only one job. There was only one position at this in 2 years. By the time I left this lumber mill, there was only one position in that lumber mill that I had not spent any time doing. I went from, I graded lumber, I planed it, I kiln dried it. I actually became a relief sawyer, where I was sawing logs into boards for you, just so you can tell me that I'm a fucking piece of shit. Fuck you. So, I went through the lumber mill for 2 years. I drove heavy equipment. They have a cat. I used to unload log trucks. They bring in a truckload full of logs, and I go in with the cat and unload them, scale them, grade them, chainsaw, you name it. The only thing I didn't do in this mill was what they call a double end trim saw, which is where they send the boards through the machinery to saw off the edges of the bark, and the next guy across the way over there has a movable saws where he sends the boards this way and cuts off the bad ends. The bad ends part was the only job in that mill I didn't do. I gotta go find a filter tube. So, after the mill, when I was at the mill, when I was at the mill, I had a friend of mine, a religious nut job, that actually, I was talking to, and he's a welder. So, the mill I was working at was a constant, it was, what I called the place was It was actually called Hardwood Components, and what I called the place was Sanford and Son. Non-stop, fucking broke down, falling apart, fucking garbage. And they want me to repair everything. They want me to do all this other work and fucking fix everything at the same time. So now I become a lumber mill worker and a fucking millwright for $9 an hour. And asking for a raise was like fucking asking for fucking the world. I'm unloading, I'm driving fucking heavy equipment. I'm doing every goddamn thing they want for $9 an hour. Like I'm some fucking slave bitch to kick around. They got illegal Mexicans working there that are making the same money I am, and all they're doing is standing there doing one thing. So I threw a fucking fit. I mean, I didn't throw a fit, but I told them straight up, look, I got the fucking the boss's daughter's husband, who's my fucking supervisor, fucking standing around telling me I'm a fucking piece of shit and he can do everything better than me and everything else. So I got fucking fed up with that, and I went to look for a new job. Or actually, I fucking threw a fit before that because of all that shit, and I went to Danny, the boss's daughter's husband, and I came in one day and I said, hey, you see that Mexican over there standing there fucking pushing fucking boards this fucking long through the thing all day? Yeah, he makes the same amount of money I do. And I'm doing fucking 10 times the work he is. I said, I want a fucking raise. Or I'm going to be standing right there next to him doing the same fucking thing. 15 minutes later, I had a $2 an hour raise. And then they just proceeded to fucking treat me more like shit. So I decided that I'd had enough of that. And I went to look for a new job on my own time without their knowledge. So the next job I had was with Dartron Industries. I've played some videos online here, and I can post those videos on here if you like. They're on YouTube. I went to work for a carnival ride manufacturer here in Salem, Oregon. We built a ride called the Cliffhanger. We built a ride called the Hurricane. We redesigned that Hurricane into a ride called the Downdraft. And we also built the big slides that you see in the carnivals and fairs and stuff. And you can look all that up on YouTube. It's all there. Just look up Cliffhanger, Hurricane, Downdraft, and slides. You'll find it. Those rides that you see there on that YouTube channels, I built those rides. I was the assembler for 2.5 years. The Cliffhanger, there's only 2 of those out there in the world that did not have my hands on them. 2 of them. The first 2 that were built, they built 2 of those Cliffhangers before I went to work there. Every Cliffhanger built after that has my hands on them. So, and Dartron was another one of those, after a certain period of time, Dartron became the carnival rides. That employer became not much different than the mill, They wanted me to be their fucking crane engineer, repair guy, fucking this and that and the other thing. Look, man, I'm here to fucking build carnival rides. I'm not here to fucking repair your shop. You can hire somebody else to do that. And they wanted to do that, for fucking, when I moved to Dartron, I took a cut in pay from the mill after I got my raise. I took a cut in pay to go there. And then the employer there at Dartron screwed me out of a fucking bonus and charged me fucking taxes for my bonus. Then I got people down in the shop that have been there fucking 6 months and got a $1,200 bonus. I was there for 2 years and got $400 and got taxed for it. Therefore, at that point, Dartron carnival rides at Dartron are no longer being built. They are out of business. They do fucking government contracts and they do parts and service for their rides. That's it. They're not even in business building carnival rides anymore because of people like me that got screwed over. My best friend that I got my dog from he quit because of this bonus bullshit. We fucking pumped out their fucking shit for him and they screwed us over in fucking bonuses and everything else. And he fucking finally quit and he fucking hated leaving me there by myself. And not much longer after that I got fucking laid off because I was done with their bullshit too. And I told him. And I got injured on the job. I have a fucking wrist injury from fucking working on that goddamn hurricane. Which I went through fucking workers' comp for. As soon as I went through workers' comp, they fucking laid me off because I'm a fucking liability. And they're fucking, and they gotta pay money that they don't want to fucking pay. Well, you should have fucking done a better job and I wouldn't have got injured. If you'd have had better fucking shit, whatever. Anyway, after that, after that Dartron, I went back to landscaping for about 9 months. I went to work for, the guy that I worked at the lumber mill with, one of the guys I worked at the lumber mill with became a friend of mine. And his brother got me into his landscaping with his boss after I got laid off from carnival rides. So I went to work for that landscape company. And that guy, he made me all sorts of fucking promises and this and that. Oh yeah, I'll pay you this and then after fucking 6 months I'll give you this fucking raise and blah 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 and here's, and he had some other shit. We had some other shit going on and blah, 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 blah. And I finally, he basically fucking lied out his ass about what he fucking wanted and what I was doing and what I was going to get. And I finally, 9 months of that, 6 months later, I didn't get my fucking raise. 3 months after that, I decided, oh, well, he's a piece of shit. So I'm going to fucking move on. Look for something better. So I did. And without his, he didn't want to give me fucking time off either. So I told him I'm not fucking, I'm taking this fucking time off, whether you like it or not. And I talked to my cousin, and I went to another job. See, because when I was at the mill, I took a class with my buddy, the welder. I took a class at the college here, Chemeketa Community College. I took a class in welding because the mill needed fucking welding repair all the time and this and that, and I had to learn how to do all that. So I took a class out of my own pocket to learn how to weld at Chemeketa Community College. Basic stick welding, blah, blah, blah. And I took my buddy's class, whom he is now the instructor. Man, he's a shitty instructor too. We'll get to that. So I took his class and learned how to weld. I didn't get certified. I just learned how to weld. That was at the mill, and then I I went into, when I got to my cousin's job, where he was doing steel erection of Lowe's, Home Depot, Best Buy, Walmart. He was erecting those buildings. When you go into a Walmart, look up. You see all that steel fucking beams and shit and roofing and all that? Yeah. I did that shit on a lot of these buildings. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And the fucking scamming fucking bullshit employers that I worked for were no different than any of the other ones I've already had. Pieces of shit, bitching because you ain't fucking giving them what they fucking want. They pay you shit wages, treat you like shit, and expect fucking miracles. That lasted for a while. After the fucking bent over, back breaking fucking puddle welding, where you're bent over all day long, putting little tiny spot welds every 6 inches. These, don't go into a Walmarts that were built by Western Steel Erectors out of Washington. Yeah, they violated every welding code on the books. They didn't use the right welding processes. They didn't use the right welding rods. They fucking didn't do anything that was according to fucking code. Enter Walmart in Washington at your own risk. Enter Lowe's at your own risk. So, after that, I went to Portland Meadows, which is a horse racing track. I got a job up there, as a maintenance guy, doing maintenance around the fucking track. I learned to drive a dump truck there. I was using my welding skills that I learned through the other job, because Dartron was also a welding shop too, because you got to weld those carnival rides together. So I was welding there off and on. I did all kinds of things at Dartron, anywhere from hydraulics to welding to painting to to auto body painting, because that's what they use on the rides. They use a 3-stage auto body paint. So I did all that, and then I went to Portland Meadows, and I kind of dicked around. I spent a month at Portland Meadows, because Portland Meadows is, they're fucked up shit there. Let me tell you. But after that, I ended up during the time of Portland Meadows back in 2001. I ended up with my welder buddy that I took the class from at Chemeketa. Well, my buddy was the assistant instructor at the time that I took the class. The instructor was actually a guy who I knew his brother from back when I worked at the mobile home factory in another part of the state. So I knew the actual instructor at the time. I knew his brother from another part of whatever, from back before that. Well, the instructor at Chemeketa ended up quitting and going on to another place where he was repairing welding machines. So my buddy took over the instructor's position, because he'd been there, and he just took over the instructor's position, and he needed an assistant instructor. So I took over in 2001 the assistant instructor's position, because I was a good welder and I had learned how to do it right. So at that point, I became the assistant instructor, and I did this twice because I quit once because I didn't like the politics of the college. So I quit in '05 because I quit in '05 because I went to well, let's see, 2001. I was doing what? In between 2001 and 2007, I was working 2 jobs, which was assistant welding instructor, and then my cousin, whom I worked at with Western Steel Erectors, had his best friend was working at a foundry, which is another metals thing. So I was looking for a better, higher paying job, and blah blah blah. I was out of work. He says, "Well, we're looking for a new melter." He says, "I work at the foundry." I said, "What the fuck is a foundry?" I told Rob, "What the fuck is a foundry?" "I don't know what the fuck foundry means." He says, "Oh, well, yeah, blah blah blah." He says, "Yeah, well, we're getting ready to fire our melter, and we need a new melter. And since you're a welder, you're fucking smart. You can learn in no time." So I went up there and I applied for the job, and they gave me the job. The guy that taught me his job was the guy they were getting rid of, or he was quitting, or whatever. It was a mutual thing. He was quitting, and they wanted to get rid of him. So he taught me his job for a week. After he left, I went to my supervisor, and what he taught me was wrong. So I had to relearn it myself to do it the right way. It took me another week to learn it the right way. Foundry work. Metals. I'm a metallurgist. Liquid steel, steel chemistry, geology, space, the Hubble telescope, gases, atmosphere. Those things all go combined in a scientific nature into one thing: making liquid steel. Pouring liquid steel into the shit you see out there before you that's all made out of steel. I made steel from the rocks that come out of the ground for a living. That employer, I worked there for 3.5 years. Wolf Steel Foundry, Olven Companies. I have a t-shirt somewhere around here. Olven Company. Here, I'll show you the t-shirt. That's not it. Here it is. Here it is right here, Olven Companies. Anyway. But I worked there for 3.5 years as a melter. There's pretty much nothing I didn't do there. The guy that got me hired there, he and I drug a fucking crane out of the blackberry bushes in their back field and completely rebuilt their fucking indoor overhead crane. Because they're cheapskate fucking bastards that don't want to pay to fucking have anything done. And all the while they're telling me, when I'm asking for fucking raises and fucking more money, they're asking me to do fucking 10 times the goddamn work, and they don't want to fucking pay me any more money for it. You know, no, we're not making any, this part of the company doesn't make any money. Yeah, but the whole fucking rest of the corporation makes fucking millions and billions. They got fucking plants and fucking shops all over the goddamn United States. And you're telling me you ain't making any money? You ain't making any profits and you can't pay me more than fucking $12 an hour? Fuck you. Bullshit. So I fucking, I fucking got depressed and blah, blah, blah. I fucking told him, hey man, I can't fucking do this anymore. I can't fucking do 10 fucking people's work. And I can't fucking make, I can't do everybody's fucking job for them. You got Mexicans that are sitting around fucking doing fucking jack shit, nothing, fucking wasting time. Late for work, fucking saying, oh, they're fucking so blah, 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 whatever, Telling me that I'm fucking, I got everybody telling me, no, I can't, I'm the guy in charge of my department, and they're telling me that no, I can't delegate any of this fucking work to anybody else. I have to do it all myself. No, fuck you. You don't put me in charge of a department and tell me to do all the goddamn work myself while everybody else sits on their ass and fucking makes money. Fuck you. What kind of fucking bullshit is that? Anyway, at the same time, sorry, I gotta eat too. But at the same time, I'm a assistant welding instructor, and my skills are improving over fucking that shit at a college. At the same time, I'm making your fucking metal to make everything you fucking use. So, college instructor. Then after fucking Chemeketa Community College in Salem, Oregon. I'm going to tell you about that in my welding instructor experience. The reason I quit after the second time, see, I worked there twice. I was 01 to 05, and then I came back in 06 and went to 07, the spring of 07. And the reason I quit there is because that college doesn't care who they send in to fucking learn something. This is the reason I quit, is because the politics of it is they only care about getting their money. They don't care whether the person is even mentally competent enough to learn. They bring it in, basically they brought in fucking mentally disabled fucking in my wording, I would say retarded. The people they sent me to teach were incapable of learning what I was teaching them. They were not capable of learning it. You know, they charge them fucking $300. You know, they just charge somebody $300, and the person they're charging $300 is not mentally capable of learning what you're trying to teach them. And I couldn't deal with it. I'm like, look, I can't teach them. What do you want me to do? They're not capable of learning. They are mentally not capable of learning. How do you teach someone that is mentally incapable of learning? You can't. You can't teach someone that can't learn. You know, so I ended up quitting again in 2007 because I couldn't deal with that. You know, you hand me a bunch of people that they don't listen. They already know everything. You know, you when you come into a college with me as the instructor, if you come into a college as me as your instructor, I know more than you. You don't know more than me. There's a reason I am teaching you. It's because I know more than you. That means when you come into a college class, you do the listening. You don't do the telling. When you come into my college class and you tell me that you know more than me, there's no point in you even being there. Because you already fucking know it all. That's bullshit. That's why I don't work as a teacher anymore in the college. Is because the fucking students come into the goddamn class and they think they know fucking more than the teacher. Bullshit! So, anyway, after that, things kind of went downhill. You know, I ended up back into fucking gas pumping because, you know, I got tired of being told that my fucking students know more than I do. That's pretty fucked up when your students come to a school to learn and they tell the teachers that they know more. Bullshit. No. If I'm teaching you, you do not know more than I do. There's a reason I am a teacher. The reason I'm a teacher is because I fucking know more than you do. You listen. You learn from me. I teach. You learn. That's how it works. You don't come into my goddamn class and tell me that you fucking know more than me. Absolutely not. Anyway. Now that we've gotten to that point, through the 1994 crap, 3 crap, blah, 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 and this paperwork, and going through my job history and everything else, and the Mark Allen Farmer shit is what's causing all the problems. As we've gotten to a point now where I've gone from educator to low-life fucking gas pumper and fucking and temporary fucking labor fucking slave. And all because the crossing of fucking felony records, where I can't fucking pass a background check anymore because they've got my fucking records crossed up with a goddamn 4-page fucking bank robbing, drug dealing fucking felon, when I fucking spent my goddamn life working my ass off and teaching, and the fucking police and the fucking state and the courts and the fucking bullshit have been chasing me around whenever I fucking walk out the door, accusing me of being somebody I'm fucking not. Ruin my name, my fucking reputation. You know, posting fucking bullshit on my fucking records that doesn't even belong to me. So I'm forced into a fucking job situation where I gotta deal with fucking assholes. And the last fucking incident that I had, the last 2 incidences that I had, the reason I'm having this problem now in court is because of this asshole. Steve's Quality Painting, that asshole. I went and worked for him for 2 weeks. 2 weeks doing some fucking painting shit. And what happened with that was, and the whole situation is I'm being charged right now with telephonic harassment. Telephone harassment. Oh, telephone harassment. I'm gonna cry because this mean old man called me and text messages me and fucking told me I'm a piece of shit. Oh, I'm gonna call the police and have you arrested. The reason he was being fucking harassed by telephone is because the motherfucker, I worked for 2 weeks and he fucking only paid me for a week. And then the text messages I have on my phone, well, the police stole my phone. And they're holding it as evidence. Here. They're holding my telephone as evidence. Because this guy fucking ripped me off for half my fucking pay. And the text messages on my phone say, as he admitted, that he owes me more money. And they arrested me because he owes me more money. Because I want my fucking money out of the piece of shit. And the text messages also say, the court papers say that he was firing me for being drunk on the job, which is not true. And that he was firing me, and at the point where he came to that bullshit was that Steve's Quality Painting, he actually had, while I was working there, I don't know if he does now or not, but while I was working there, he actually had a breathalyzer machine in his company vehicle, in his work truck, that he had to blow in for alcohol to be able to drive his truck. That tells me he's, he sat there and told me that he had his kid blowing in that so he could drink and drive. He fucking had me going to the store across the street to buy him beer while he was fucking sitting in his office drinking. And the police report say he was firing me for drinking on the job. That's wrong. I never fucking drank on the job. Coming in hungover is not fucking drunk on the job. While the motherfucker's sitting there drinking in his office, having his kid blow in the fucking breathalyzer machine so he can fucking drink and drive. Bullshit. And this is the business owners that you fucking want to fucking have work for you? No. So, at that point, it's been put me into a situation, you know, where, and at the time of this, I actually have a couple of other people which I have to go fucking look up and have subpoenaed in order to do this. And they're hostile witnesses. Because they aren't any better than Steve's Quality Painting himself. They're not any better than that asshole. You know, well, the one guy, Sam, he was a good guy up until the point where he got involved with my roommate at the time. The roommate I had at the time, which I've had to move since then. The cops have been there too. The motherfucker's standing there fucking threatening to fucking beat the shit out of me. You got other fucking, they're all a bunch of squatters sitting on property that doesn't belong to them. Steve Messman. And a bunch of these other people squatting on property that doesn't even belong to them. It doesn't mean, you know, yeah, the property doesn't even belong to them. Squatting. And fucking charging me fucking money. And then the motherfucker's gonna stand there and fucking grab me by the scruff of the fucking neck and say, give me my fucking money or I'm gonna kick your ass. And then he fucking turns around and calls the cops on me. When I tell him no, fuck you. And they're all gonna play their fucking religious games. Oh, well, God said I can grab you by the fucking scruff of the neck until you give me my fucking money or I'm gonna kick your ass. The dude's fucking Looney Tunes. So that's why he's a fucking hostile witness. And Sam, the other guy, I mean, Steve's Quality Painting, through this whole incident with me, Steve's Quality Painting, dude, he ripped off so many of his fucking employees. That motherfucker should not be allowed to fucking continue to run a business. Period. End of story. I watched him rip off and fucking screw over almost everybody that fucking worked for him while I was there for 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. So then, you know, with my roommate from this, Steve, Steve's Quality Painting, and then my roommate's name was Steve too. But my roommate, you know, I'm fucking busting my ass, fucking trying to make money, blah, 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 blah. Being ripped off and then grabbed by the scruff of the neck and told fucking, you know, give me my fucking money, or I'm gonna kick your ass. While you ain't even fucking working, and you ain't paying shit to fucking live in a house that don't even belong to you. While you fucking sit on your ass and drink fucking Steel Reserve beer fucking 10 a day. Demanding fucking money. To support your fucking beer habit. No. So I ended up fucking telling that guy, I was fucking, you know, when he grabbed me by the scruff of the neck and fucking told me, give me my money, I fucking fucking take your goddamn hands off me or I'm gonna fucking break your arm. That's after he called the cops on me fucking 3 or 4 times. After him and his fucking religious roommates called the cops on me 3 or 4 times because I wouldn't bow to their fucking commands. So I finally ended up fucking packing up my shit. You know, I didn't take much there anyway because I knew it wasn't gonna fucking be that fucking good of a deal. Just by after he moved these other people in, I was the first one in. After he moved those people in, I fucking knew it was a bad situation. I was just trying to get out. But anyway, so I packed up my shit and fucking, you know, I got on Craigslist here and I fucking, you know, was looking for a new place and I said, hey, you know, I'm in a bad situation and I need to fucking find a place to live. I was looking at being homeless again. You know, they want to fucking take my money and fucking then make me fucking homeless. So I got online and I looked for a new roommate and I found a new roommate in this place. In this place, my roommate, you know, I came in and I talked to the guy, you know, before I moved in. And his son was actually living here with him and was moving out. That's why he was in a bad situation. You know, I need help with, you know, his ad on Craigslist was, I need help with rent and, you know, blah, 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 and this and that and the other thing. And I came over here and the place was a fucking filthy, fucking trashed, fucking mess. Just fucking disgusting. Not fucking cleaned. Fucking, there was firewood bullshit all over the fucking living room. Fucking blah, blah, blah. Garbage everywhere. I mean, so I came in and I fucking tried to help the guy out. Ron Adams. I tried to help the guy out. You know, and clean the place up and fucking, you know, be the nice guy. And, you know, 2 weeks after I moved in, you know, I came in and cleaned the place up, fucking tried to take care of it, everything else. And 2 weeks later, he's fucking, you know, I mean, not even 2 weeks later, the guy's fucking turned into a fucking sarcastic, fucking lying, fucking asshole. Drunk! Steel Reserve. Steve Messman. Ron Adams. Steel Reserve beer. Asshole. Dickhead. Fucking give me your fucking money, dictator fucking bullshit. Give me, fucking do my shit. Fucking I'm your goddamn master and commander. Bullshit. I have a fucking camera here. My digital camera with Ron Adams. It's not in there right now. I have a chip. I have the fucking SD card in there. Ron Adams. I didn't get the whole thing on video. But the first time this guy called the cops on me, he's fucking running around here half fucking naked, you know, telling me he's gonna fucking kill me. So I started filming him and I said, hey, you know, you want to threaten to kill me again? He says, oh shit. And he fucking went in the bedroom and called the cops. I got part of it on video, but I didn't get it all on video, but I got part of it on video. So, you know, and they're charging. And then here afterwards, the guy calls the cops because I left a frying pan in his fucking way because he's too goddamn lazy to pick it up and move it aside. He lays in his room fucking drinking fucking Steel Reserve beer, bitching that I'm some fucking fat, lazy, worthless piece of shit after I clean up his fucking house and fucking, you know, and I'm trying to be the nice guy. And then he's telling me, I live in Oregon. The guy stood out in the backyard, and we have a big maple tree out here. The guy stood out in the backyard, and he says, yeah, I saw a flock of parakeets in this fucking tree. The tree was filled with parakeets. We live in Oregon. Parakeets are a fucking South American tropical bird. Unless they're in captivity, they don't fucking survive here. It's too goddamn cold. Parakeets do not fly in flocks in Oregon. That doesn't happen. The guy's fucking delusional. He ain't all there. So what happened after that? I mean, the guy's called the cops on me. I mean, he's a chronic fucking cop caller. I mean, call the cops on me for fucking frying pan. He calls the cops on me because he's fucking... I mean, the guy just fucking calls the cops. Because he doesn't get what he fucking wants. So the last time he called the cops, and which is part of this fucking paperwork again, which is why I'm in court now with this bullshit and the telephone shit. They're trying to combine it all. So what's happening here is that now the last incident. See, I'm living here by myself now. Ron Adams is no longer. He got himself fucking kicked out because of this shit. I have a rental agreement with the landlord, and the landlord is actually his ex-wife, which really fucks shit all up. So, what happens is, the last time Ron Adams called the cops on me and had me arrested, he had me arrested for assault. And the situation with that, when the cops showed up here on the front porch, they were actually here. The cops were actually here just the day before because he called them. They were here the day before. And we went through this the day before this supposed assault shit. The assault is a false charge. Beating up a drunk, fucking whacked out, fucking 60-year-old man is no person in their right mind would do something like that. And I am in my right mind. I would never ever fucking beat up a drunk, fucking stupid, insane old man at 60 years old. Especially knowing the laws like I do. That would be the stupidest thing anyone could ever do. So, with the Steve's Quality Painting and the telephone harassment, they have altered the names on the report. I've got so much paperwork scattered out I can't show you right now, but the police report on this has altered all of the names. They have altered all of the names on the police report. With the Steve's Quality Painting thing on here, on the police report, they report it as Stephanie, which they're trying to make everything female feminist based when this guy is not even a fucking female. Stephanie Bunning, Steve's Quality Painting is Stephanie Bunning? I don't fucking think so. But anyway, with the whole shit with the assault is Ron Adams, the police were here the day before this supposed assault took place. They were here just the day before. I stood down, I walked out of the house and went down to the corner to talk to the officer. I stayed down at the corner talking to one of the officers while they were here talking to him over some fucking, I don't even know, I don't even remember what the fucking petty little fucking crazy little fucking jack off bullshit he was even trying to fucking have me arrested for to begin with. Chronic fucking nuts ass fucking cop collar fucking whatever. I don't know what the fuck his problem is. He's gone anyway, but anyway, the next day after the cops were here, this is at nighttime, and I haven't even spoke to the guy because I had been going with the landlord, his ex-wife, and her husband, and her current husband, dealing with this crap where he had been told numerous times just to shut the fuck up and stop talking to me. I just live here. I don't have to talk to you in order to live here. There's no reason why we have to communicate to fucking live together. You live in that room. You take care of yourself. I live in this room. I take care of myself. It's not fucking rocket science. You go fucking mind your own business. Don't fucking bitch at me. You're fucking bitching at me like he's my fucking wife or my girlfriend. This is a fucking 60-year-old man bitching at me like he's my fucking woman. No! So, after the cops were here the night before, and I had not even spoke to this man in 24 hours, I was completely ignoring him for the next 24 hours. I was in my room reading a book. I was trying to finish up this book I've been reading for a while, off and on. It wasn't a very good book, so it took me a while to read it. I didn't really care, but it's the only book I had, so I was reading it. So I'm trying to read this book, you know, and I was almost finished with it finally. When the cops showed up here, I was about 5 pages from being done. I was laying in my bed fucking reading a book. 15 minutes before the cops showed up, I came out of my bedroom. I put the book down. I came out of my bedroom to smoke a cigarette. Because, you know, we weren't smoking inside the house. We're not, you know, I normally don't smoke inside the house. So, I was in my bedroom reading a book. I came outside to smoke a cigarette. I was taking a break and came outside to smoke a cigarette. And Ron Adams was sitting in the recliner, which is sitting right there, which is not here now, you can tell. He was sitting in a recliner right there, and he was fucking pissed. And he tried to talk to me. And I walked out the door without saying a word, completely ignoring him because he's a dickhead. So I walked out the door completely ignoring him, didn't say a fucking word to him, smoked my cigarette, came back in after my cigarette, went back in my room, closed the door, and was trying to finish reading my book. It's the police! So I got up, opened the door. Yeah, what do you want? Oh wait, no. That's not what happened. Wait. I went back in my room and was reading my book, and Ron came out here in the living room while my door was closed. I was in there by myself reading my book, and Ron comes out here, and he's fucking smacking himself around here in the living room next to my door, next to the wood stove. How dare you fucking hit me, blah, 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 fucking blah, 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 and fucking whatever. What? I don't know what the fuck this shit was, but he's fucking beating himself around. And then he goes back over here, and I hear this poo, poo. And this is what I found after he moved. You see that hole in the wall? That's where he beat his fucking head on the wall, called the cops, and said I fucking assaulted him. The cops showed up here. I'm wearing this pair of shorts, no t-shirt, laying in my bed, reading a book. I walked out the door with a fucking book in my hand. If I would have assaulted this man, none of that, but he's over 6 foot tall, and the fucking bumps on his head. I'm 5'9", he's over 6 foot tall. I would have had to been above him and fucking damaged my hand in order to fucking hit him in the head. No, absolutely not. And the courts are trying to fucking railroad me, ruin my fucking name, my reputation, make me fucking some kind of violent goddamn criminal, take away my fucking rights, turn fucking males into females, Stephanie Bunning. What kind of fucking bullshit are you people fucking running? No. Absolutely not. You fucking bully me into fucking pleading guilty to crimes I haven't committed. Absolutely not. Thanks, YouTubers, for fucking listening. You know, I understand this is kind of a fucking rant and rave type thing, but it needs to be publicized because the corrupt fucking court systems and these fucked up people are trying to fucking turn victims into criminals. Feminism turns victims into criminals. That's wrong. Thanks, YouTubers, for listening. Have a great day.